What's up, guys? It's your boy Will, and welcome to another day, another video. I am so excited because we have a new Affinity update. Welcome to Extra Zello. This is where I post all the extra little quick one-off videos. You can go to my main channel where I have my podcast, Design With, launch a new episode, the first episode this week, and I do a weekly design spotlight, also do some more long-form videos, editing, graphic design, the biz. You guys got it. So anyway, welcome to Extra Zello. I am a graphic designer. I love doing design work. I'm mainly Photoshop. You can look right there. Photoshop is open. Into arts of projects. I think I was working on a thumbnail for the video I posted today. But Affinity just updated, so they say goodbye crashes, clunky exports, and spooky file sizes. I love that whole caption. That's great. Affinity 3.0.2 just landed with a link. I'm live reacting to it, so I have not read this in its entirety yet, so I'm excited to see what the updates are. Release notes. We are pleased to announce that the latest Affinity version is now available for macOS and Windows. Screw Windows. If you guys have seen the drama with Windows 11, it's trash. Mac has always been better. I've been a Mac user since 2009 when I got my personal own MacBook. I've been a Mac fan since elementary school. I used to have a notebook, literally, that I would design Apple products for, and I invented the solar topped laptop. I still think it's a brilliant idea. I don't know why it hasn't happened yet, but a laptop with a solar panel on the front, and it's odd because I work in solar now. So anyway, I digress. But Mac greater than Windows always. So the updates for that, improvements and fixes to version 3.0.2. This article lists key improvements, not all, but key and bug fixes included in this version. For all users, everyone, not just the paid. I like that. Fix errors when exporting file. PDF when tagged option is set. Image trace improved for images of transparency. Love that. Image trace is one of the best features. Baseline grid scaling and artboard resizing improved. Fixed super resolve failing to scale images correctly when initial downsample is set to 1/3. Canva AI generative expand tool now uses the last crop tool ratio. Nice. Canva AI colorize could be slow. Now, does that mean it could be slow in the update, or does it mean it was slow and they fixed that in this version? I'm just saying, Canva, get your act together. Properly write descriptions, please. I'm just kidding. Reflow EPUB fix for font size EM values being incorrectly rounded to an integer values. And I've been seeing this a lot as a big complaint on Reddit and just in the Affinity groups that basically you couldn't do the same math equations or specific like functions in your resize or your value set like you can in applications like Webflow or Photoshop and Illustrator and Adobe software. So interesting that. Fix layout EPUB fix in initial word styling being overly applied. Nice. Fix layout EPUB fixed for hyperlinks applied to rectangles failing to appear when exported. Interesting. Improved gradient. Love that. In imported EPS files. That's very important. Live projection is lost when using merge down command. Okay. Fixed estimated file size showing as 10 billion gigabytes. I think that's the spooky file size they're talking about. Wow, that's spooky. 17, this is 100,000 million billion. 17 billion gigabytes when exporting as a tagged PDF. Fix for empty context toolbar setting when settings menu when picture frame tool is selected. Edit duplicate layer now added to edit duplicate menu. Nice, nice. Some SVG generates errors exporting to tagged PDFs. Fixed for WebP option being missing on the quick export panel toolbar export option. That's important. Fixed placed PDFs having noticeably lower screen resolution. That's important. Saving PSD files as Affinity files no longer result in exception error and corrupted Affinity file. Interesting. Using find, well, that's very important if you're saving as a PDF file for whatever reason and it corrupts the whole Affinity file. It's crazy. Using find when text style font or background color is, I like the color for all my European friends. Background color is set to none, crashes the app. Wow, gotta fix those crashes. Now this is for Mac users specifically. Fix crash while zooming on Ventura. Fix app crashing when it's if it's quit while less than full screen mode. The quick export panel file format is menu non-functional. Fix for font list being corrupted when filtered. That happened to me actually. I definitely had times where I could not get my actual font list to show up. Custom Studio shortcuts are not applied to Overflow Studios. Interesting. Fix for page navigation keyboard shortcuts causing the document zoom out. Fix for filters, shadows, highlights, apply, cancel buttons not working. Tahoe only. Fix for unwanted zooming when Shift A arrow key. To select off text or to select off screen text. Fix for custom keyboard shortcuts not being inherited when creating a new studio. Ooh, that is, I didn't even know that was a thing or a problem. That would be very bad. Every new studio, you have to reset your custom keyboard shortcuts. Rip. Snapping preset. Text no longer clears when pressing the ask button. Floating context toolbar moves when floating document window is moved. Floating context toolbar now minimizes when the app is minimized. We like that. Fix for spelling none equal none with ICU line break equal auto incorrectly set. I have no idea what that is. Document setup doesn't honor the decimal places for input type. Interesting. Search for new file dialog doesn't work if uppercase search terms are used. That is brutal. You can't be case sensitive in 2026. It's 2025 when I'm recording this, but 2026 is coming up. Fix for lookup with three finger. That's good. If you do the three finger trackpad and it crashes. Fix for the help menu search field being misused until you switch studios. Awesome. For Windows users, fix for crash when editing studio using color picker with no document open. It's crazy how niche a lot of these issues become. Like, who is using color picker with no document open and it's crashing the app? Like, people are a little interesting. Fix for document pages delete leading to a crash. Fix for crash. I'm just saying Windows. Crash, crash, crash. Typing no longer slow when context toolbar is undocked. Fix for too many generations can cause Canva AI Studio to become slower and slower to enter. It's now possible to create application palettes. Nice. Editing vector brushes defaults prior to drawing is now possible. Nice. Fix for portrait blur being slow when hardware acceleration is disabled. The escape key now closes Studio Manager and other dialogues. Nice. Fix for export panel auto scrolling causing the layers panel to jump back to being in focus. Now able to use control key and toolbar in intersection options. Fix for hiding numerous studios can cause visual glitch. Zoom tool now allows for 15-degree rotation. That's important. Fix for ask panel being docked and undocked loses current conversation. Generation history panel has tooltips now. Fix for the color picker loop remaining active for too long when click dragging color from the color wheel. Fix for crash using file export JPEG PNG when changing the width and then pressing the tab key. Just a bunch of niche fixes, but we're excited for that. Improvement and fixes. This is the key improvements for all users. Save as package now. Save as package now works correctly. Love that. With restricted fonts, export to Canva now completes more reliably. Nice. Got to export to that Canva app. Controls in the Develop Studio now initiate function correctly. For Mac users, Ask Panel stably improved on Mac OS Tahoe. For Windows users, startup reliably improved. It's funny how Windows don't start up reliably, but awesome. Startup reliably improved when managed Windows environments. Templates on the welcome screen now open correctly. I'm dyslexic, so if I read any of that in just a weird order, I'm sorry. And if you're like, that is not what that says, and I read it out loud that way, I hated reading in front of people back in the day. I still do, but it's a little easier when you're behind a camera. Anyway, that is the update. Obviously, a lot of awesome improvements, and I've heard a lot of really good initial feedback on this, again, launching an hour ago. So user value may vary, and there's always the pretty woman where it's like, oh, the new thing in front of you is better than the old thing, or whatever the case is. But we're really excited for Affinity update, and there's going to be more Affinity content. So anyway, my name is Will. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to Extra Zello. New mini tutorials. I have a lot of one-offs on like how to do the custom studios and how to set up your layout and keyboard shortcuts and a lot of the little stuff for Affinity coming out. So really excited about it. But anyway, my name is Will. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.